Hey everybody, it's Brenna, and today I'm going to talk about my Preptober wrap-up. If you've been around the writing community for a while, you've probably heard the term Preptober, which is what a lot of writers say to mean that they're prepping for NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. And NaNoWriMo is in November, so Preptober takes place in October. Prepping for Nano just means exactly that. It means that we're prepping and preparing ourselves and our space, and trying to set outlines and things like that so that we can try to do Nano, which NaNoWriMo is a challenge to write 50,000 words in 1 month. It's not necessarily a full novel, but it's a really good chunk of a novel. So, as like a lot of writers, I'm going to be participating in NaNoWriMo next month. So I have spent this month doing prep. I've done a couple videos about it so far, talking about my, what I did for outlining and my plans and things like that. So today I'm just going to wrap up hello. So today I'm just going to wrap up Preptober for me. Hi, kitty. I set myself some goals at the beginning of October of things that I wanted to get completed by the end of the month. And I'm pretty happy to say that I have completed all of them, but one. But to have gotten that far, I'm pretty happy. My debut novel is coming out next month as well. So some of my goals had to do with that, and some of my goals were more about the novel that I am planning to write next month. First up, we had set up a Scrivener document with my outline. I had already, if you've watched any of my videos that I've done about Preptober, you will know that I'd already written my outline in September, because I did a Preptober a little bit. And so my outline has already been not really set in stone, because I don't ever consider them set in stone, but it's been finished for a while. But I needed to write it all into the Scrivener doc, because I write my novels using Scrivener. I find that it's really handy having the images and the outline and the character sheets and all that. And all that in the same place. He's ignored me all day, and as soon as I get up to film, he just wants to know what I'm doing. Yeah. Just make yourself comfy. Moving on. So I did get my Scrivener doc. I got it all written out. The next thing I did is I didn't necessarily do any of these in order. I jumped around and did them as I did them. But I also updated my Nano website. So if you're looking for me, you can add me to your buddy list. I'm Brenna Barrett on there. So I'll try to remember to link my Nano page down in the comments. So if anybody wants to be my buddy on the Nano website, then just look me up. Next, I printed a tracker for Nano. Well, I was going to print a tracker, but I've been drawing the same one for a couple years. Can we not do that? I use this one. It's got the numbers that you need to hit here, and then the days of the month are at the bottom, and then this is the line to reach your 50,000 by the end of the year, or by the end of the month. And then I use these blocks to color code. I haven't written my color code yet, but I use different colors. One color will be for if I don't meet the word count for that day, but I did write. Another one would be if I meet the word count, like exactly, which rarely ever happens that I meet it exactly. And another color for if I have exceeded the word count, and then another color for I didn't write it all that day. I try never to not write anything, because as with many of us, of the people that do Nano, I have a thing about wanting the badges on the website. So I try to make sure that I write at least something every day, because I want that badge that means I've updated my word count daily. I don't know why. I've been doing Nano. This is going to be my 4th year, and every year it matters to me to get those badges, even though I've already gotten them before, because I've always updated every single day so I can get the match, but it doesn't matter. And then down here is a place for my final word count, just for the month. And then right here, I just realized how incomplete this spread is, but at the end of each week, I'm going to put what the total for that week should be, and then what my actual total of words was for that week. So after the first 7 days, you should be at 11,669. So right here, I'll put that's the goal, and then underneath it, I'll put the actual total of what I actually got. So I've been using a tracker that looks like this for the last 2 years, I believe. And then I printed this off. It was from Bethany Altazada. I think I pronounced that right. Because I got her October and November care packages. And this was in November's care package was this. And then you just color in at every 1K, you just color in a block. And I thought it was cute. So I printed it out and stuck it in my book. And then I also have, like everything else is done as well for the month. So November's bullet journal is ready to go into. And I'm not an artist by any stretch of the imagination. I enjoy keeping a bullet journal, but I'm not very artistic. And every time I go onto Pinterest or Instagram, I see these people's spreads, and it just makes me feel so inadequate. But I enjoy keeping them. I enjoy keeping my bullet journal. I've had one for 3 or 4 years now, and I enjoy it. So I'm gonna keep doing it, even if my spreads don't turn out the way everybody else do. I also had the setting up a YouTube schedule for November, which I did as well. I also set up some for Instagram posts because I'm not very good at remembering to post on Instagram, and not always good about remembering if I have posted on YouTube. Although, since you have to kind of set aside time to film for YouTube, then, it's easier to remember if you've done it, for me anyway. I just printed off, I got this it was a free download off of Google, and then I just color coded it based on what I wanted to do, so I know that the days that I need to be posting for different things, so that you all don't think that I've disappeared into the writing cave and haven't come back out yet. I don't actually have it on here as a goal that I had, but I did need to finish getting my final read through for the book that I have that's coming out in November. I wanted to do one final read of the novel just to make sure that I didn't see any errors or anything. But I've had to format it a couple times because when I get my proofs in, then I realize the formatting's not right. Work on formatting again, and then order another proof, and then realize it's still not right. So I have ordered my third proof to see if I've got my formatting right this time. And fingers crossed it is, because at this point, if I change it again, I don't think I'm going to have time to get another physical copy of the book in before it goes live in November. So I really hope I've got the formatting right. I've been working on formatting since June. Not every single day or anything, but I thought that I had it formatted in June. And then it wasn't even close. And so then I thought that I had it formatted, and etc., multiple more times. At this point, I think it is, but with my track record so far, I'm just not going to hold my breath. But speaking of the book that I've got coming out next month, I also set up the pre-order for it on Amazon, which was it was one of my goals. And I also set up a Goodreads author page for me as well, because I didn't have an author page before. So I did both of those things, which all had to do with not Nano, but things that I needed to get done this month. And then other things that I had to do that weren't specifically Nano related was sending the cover proposal for book 2 and 3. I got all 3 covers as a bundle. I went through More Cover Design, and they had a deal. If you get 3 covers done at once, then you get, was it 10% off or something like that? I think it's a deal that they do all the time. And I had 3 books that I knew I needed covers for. So actually I've got 4 books I need covers for. So one, I'm just going to have to get it on its own. But I had to send off the proposal, like what I want on the covers for books 2 and 3. I had to send those off both of them had to go this month, and I already sent both of them off. So 2 more things on my list done. So the only thing that I haven't done, which again is not even Nano related, because like I mentioned in a previous video, and I think I mentioned it earlier in this video, I had already done my outline in September. So I didn't have a whole lot of prep for Nano specifically. I'm not really one to make a schedule for when I can write. I kind of write when inspiration hits, which is not the best thing, but if inspiration doesn't hit by like 9 o'clock, I'm sitting down to write, because inspiration has taken too long. I like to write when I feel like writing, but if I don't ever feel like it, because some days, you just don't feel like writing some days. The words just aren't there when you do sit down to write, or you feel like you've got either writer's block or you're just not feeling well that day. At least when I'm writing a novel, I try to write every day. I do try to, when I am feeling inspired and I'm feeling like all the words are there, I will try to write as much as I can. I'm not somebody that when I'm going to reach that 1,600 and, what is it, 67 or 77? Yeah, 1,667. I'm not a person that when I hit that number, I'm just going to quit. I like to give myself, especially at the beginning of the month of Nano, I like to give myself a buffer. So I will write as much as I can, as fast as I can, because I fast draft anyway. I can usually get the novel done within about 6 weeks. So if I start it brand new at the beginning of Nano, then I should finish it going into at the beginning of December. The only thing I didn't get done was editing book 2. Book 2 of my series I wrote for Nano in 2018, but I was wanting to get a read-through of it done this month so that it would be fresh on my mind when I went into my Nano project for this year, which is the 3rd book in my series. Last year for Nano, I wrote what would be a spin-off of the series that I'm currently working on. It's the Beldoran series, and there's going to be probably 5 books in it. The first one that I wrote, which was Into the Shadows, which is what comes out next month, I wrote it for Nano in 2017. Then the next year, in 2018, I wrote the 2nd book, which takes place just a couple weeks after Into the Shadows. And then last year I was calling it the 3rd book, but it's actually a companion / spin-off of the 2nd book. It takes place at the same time the 2nd book takes place, but it's told from a different character's point of view. So this year for Nano, I'm writing the 3rd book, which will take place a few months after the 2nd book. But I wanted to have the 2nd book read so that when I'm going into Nano, the characters and the situations and just the voices of all like the secondary characters, because I'm pretty familiar with all the characters' like voices in my head, but where it has been, a year since I wrote anything from these characters' perspective, I wanted to get back into like the swing of them and their dynamics with each other before I wrote the 3rd book. Now I am over halfway done with the edits for it, so if I really buckle down, I might be able to get it done. I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself to get it done. I would like to, but it just may not happen. So I feel like I've done pretty well this month. Like I said, I've accomplished almost everything that I wanted to, with a few other things thrown in, and life rarely goes how you plan it. So I think that I did pretty good getting almost everything done on my list. But I'm pretty comfortable going into November with my project the way it is. I do have my outline, like I said, is already finished, and I'm comfortable with it. I've done a little bit of research. The book is taking place in a different location than the previous books have. Most of the previous 2 books in the series have all taken place in Boston. There's a couple little trips that they go on here and there, but generally speaking, they take place in Boston, Massachusetts. And this book is taking place, the majority of it is going to take place in Ireland. So how has your all's month gone? Did everybody get everything done that they needed to? Did anybody else make a checklist like I did and tick off the boxes as you got them done? Has anybody fallen behind? and you've been spending the last couple days trying to play catch up, feel free to leave your comments down below. And I love chatting with you all down there, so if anybody has anything they'd like to ask or add, or you just want to talk, just feel free to comment down below. If you've made it this far and you like this video, then please like it and subscribe so that you can find me later on when you want to see more ramblings. Also down below is a link for my book, Into the Shadows, for the pre-order if you all want to check it out. I'd really appreciate it. That's all I have for today. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.